Welcome. Today's session, we're going to revisit a lot of the poses that we already did in our first Yoga for Tai Chi session, but we're going to change the sequence a little bit so that we can feel the difference in what sequencing does for our body. So same poses, different sequence. Let's get started. So mountain pose, you can either have that prepare stance or you could have the traditional variation, which is feet together. Coming from that Tai Chi background, I'm going to go feet separated every single time. And then the only difference is instead of fingertips brushing the sides, we have palms facing forward, fingertips reaching down. So right away, we want to start with the breath. Now, for some, it's hard to focus on where the breath is moving to. So then we can do one hand on the heart and one on the belly, and that might draw the focus to where you're breathing. So you want to feel both. And the big part is when we exhale, we want to start finding that core engagement. So that is just like Tai Chi in many ways. It's relaxing the waist. So it's leveling out the hips, and we do that by lifting all the way up through the crown of the head. But we have the chest sinking in, so those ribs are dropping down slightly so that we're kind of shortening the space between the ribs and the hips. That's going to help relax the tailbone or relax the waist. Then we're drawing up through the pelvis. So there's a couple of things going on there. But as we exhale, that's when we want to focus in on it. It's not on the inhale. On the inhale, we want to have that nice soft belly and fill everything. Maybe close your eyes. See if you can bring the focus down to your feet. Try to relax and let them spread. That's a big difference from Tai Chi wearing our shoes. Our shoes kind of determined where or how our toes sit. In yoga, we want to see if we can relax the foot and get everything to kind of spread a little bit wider into the mat, like building those gaps between our fingers. We want to do the same thing with our feet. Checking in on the soft knees. Couple more deep breaths. Are you filling the lungs front to back and side to side to bring through your practice? We'll inhale and bring the arms up overhead. Exhaling, we'll bend at the elbows. Bring the hands down the front of the body. We'll bend into the knees and place the hands on the knees. Making sure the knees are in line. So you could adjust and bring them a little bit closer, say about hips distance. We're going to do cat and cow stretches. So we lift the chest and we look up if it's possible on the inhale. Exhaling, chin to chest, navel to spine, hunching and rounding the back. So staying where you are. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. So it's about finding some movement through the spine. So we're almost sticking the bottom out as we lift, and then we're tucking everything in. We'll do a few more rounds. The goal is to connect with your own breath. So inhaling up, exhaling back. Moving at whatever pace your breath is flowing. Two more big breaths. Last one. Round the back. Inhale, stand up, release the arms, roll the shoulders back, and exhaling, settle in. We're going to move into the side body stretch next. So we're just kind of waking up the spine gently before larger movements. So we'll bring left hand overhead, right fingertips reach towards your knees. You kind of stretch through your whole side here, all the way down to the hip if you can. And you can keep your head neutral or look down to the earth to relax the neck, but try to reach from your fingertips all the way through the torso, and that left hand is palm facing down. On our inhale, we'll come up. So both arms come to the sky. And we exhale and we drop the left arm. And the right arm extends over, palm facing down. Again, left fingertips reach towards your knee. And then we're stretching through this whole side body. And there's that option to look down towards the earth. 2 more breaths. Even right here as we exhale, we're drawing the navel towards the spine. We might be extending through the right side, but we're crunching into that left side. We're going to inhale and we're going to come up. Lengthen both arms through the sky. Exhale, float down. Next, we're going to coordinate breath and movement. So we're going to float the arms up as we inhale. Shoulder height out to the sides. Exhale, relax them down. Inhale, lifting up onto the toes to whatever feels comfortable. A little bit goes a long way. Staying where you are. The goal is not to lift as high as you can so that you have to adjust. The goal is to lift to the point that the weight is even from your big toe to your little toe. Building some strength through the feet and the ankles. Challenging the balance. Okay, 2 more breaths. Up and down. Follow your flow. Last one. You can always throw in one more and wait to see what's next if that feels good. We're going to ground and root our feet next. So we're going to move into those mini sun salutations. Now these are incredible for building ab strength, glutes, hamstrings, lower back, like everything. So as we exhale, we want to make sure we really draw the navel to the spine. Make sure the ribs are going down so we're not lifted up. Chest sinking in. Okay. Lower back relaxed, knees soft, and where's the weight in your feet? Okay. So we're going to start by inhaling up. Exhaling, fold forward, arms straight out or out to the side. Bend into your knees if it feels good. Then on our inhale, we lengthen through the spine. Hands come to the shins. And as we exhale, we fold again and relax the head down. Now on the next inhale, we try to hit that flat back, squeezing through the abs, the glutes, everything working together. And then arms go back down on the exhale. So we're going to do 5. The number 5 actually comes from Ashtanga yoga. That's what we always do. So I'm going to turn so you can see. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, hinge forward. Keep that flat back as long as you can. And then relax down. Inhale, lengthen, straight legs, flat back, like the letter L. Exhale, hinge forward. Relax the head. Then try to include both flat back, arms out to the side, and then overhead and release down. So we've got 3 more. Follow your breath. Yes, I'm trying to cue you, but I want you to listen to your body. How do you feel? Can you flow with your breath? Up on the inhales and down on the exhales. And then all the way up. So it's just like single movement practice. Coordinating the breath with the movement. We've got 2 more. Let your feet relax. Make sure you lengthen through the spine. Then you really engage through the abs, tightening everything as you exhale and fold. Then we come up, lengthening. Nice straight legs. And you might bend as you fold here. Up to you. How does it feel? But then really try to hit that flat back. Feel the feet on the ground, squeeze through everything, and release. Ready for your final one? Last one. Really flow with your breath. What does that mean for you? Lengthening on the inhale, folding on the exhale, and then all the way up. And return. Okay, we're going to come back to that mountain pose. Take a deep breath, fingertips down towards the earth. Settle back in. And can you find that position from your prepare that feels the same but slightly different for mountain pose? Close the eyes. Notice where your breath is. A big part of our practice is our breath. So being aware that most of the time we typically breathe into the chest and maybe the front of the belly. But we can expand the breath to include the sides of the lungs and the back. Sometimes it's easier to feel breathing into the back if we're actually laying on our mat, but right now we just want to see if we can even touch on it. 2 more big breaths to settle in. Relax your feet. Feel that weight sinking down, light and airy through the upper body. Next, exhale, release the arms. Step your feet a little bit closer together. We're going to come into chair pose. Great for building strength and rooting. There is always the option to use a block here. I think because of our Tai Chi background, we probably don't need it because when we sink down, we're going to be more aware of our alignment. But the goal is when you sink down, we drop our tailbone, so we exhale and we're crunching in, so dropping those ribs down, lifting up through the pelvis, and you can bring your hands up. You could have the hands to the heart, or you could even have them out in front. What's going on in the upper body does not matter at all. What's going on from the waist down. So making sure that when we did that cat and cow stretch, we have that flexibility through the hips. How can we find straight? So we're not sticking out the bottom, but we're not too rounded, finding what it means to sink down, because this could simply be the transition to a bow stance if we shifted to one leg and picked up and then stepped to the corner. So we're trying to build that strength. And we're going to include some other new fun things next session. But for right now, just experimenting with our order of poses or sequence. Okay, ready? Inhale up. Exhale down. Okay, we're going to come and we're into that warrior sequence on both sides. So we're going to start stepping out with your right leg. This is just a bow stance, but we're not moving, so we can lengthen a little bit if it feels good, okay? This is up to you and your body. We could have our feet on one line, okay? But we could also have the 2 lines between our feet. It's about stability. When we're on that one line, it's going to be really hard to balance, but the same things apply. Knee over the ankle so that that weight is centered in your foot. Hips open to the side, knee in line with the foot direction, so it's about 45 degrees. And then for warrior 1, we turn from our torso and we bring the arms overhead. So depending on how much flexibility you have in your torso, you might close your back foot a little bit closer to straight. So you might be a little bit inside of the corner, so then you don't have as much turning of the torso. Now arms could be overhead, Hands could go to the heart. If you wanted, you could lace the fingers behind the back to open up through the chest. It's about what feels good, but we don't want to forget about keeping our tailbone down so that our hips are level and not locking out the legs or having too much bend. So it's that perfect in between. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Now for number 2, we either float the arms down or we bring them and push them out to the side. You're going to open up that back foot now a little past the corner, not to straight by any means, but a little bit more open so that the hips can open a little bit more. Make sure your right knee didn't come with it, right? So we have to rotate from the hip going outwards, and we're vertical, just like single whip. Arms are reaching out. Palms could face down to build strength through the arms, or palms could face the sky to relax the shoulders. And then there's the option of looking down the front arm. It's going to be about what feels good for you. 2 more breaths. Are you exhaling with the navel to the spine, engaging through the abs, relaxing the lower back and lifting through the pelvis? Now this time we're just going to reverse it. So that means we're going to bring our left hand to our thigh and our right hand's going to come overhead. And we're going to lengthen through the side body just like that first movement. So the same thing, but we're pushing our legs a little bit this time. Palm facing the earth. You could look down, you could look up, or keep it neutral. Take 1 more big breath. Lengthen through the side. Inhaling, come up. Back to number 2. We settle in. Then we'll visit number 1, closing the foot, closing the arms overhead or hands to the heart. And then we're going to release. Release the arms. Straighten the front leg and turn. We're going to adjust our feet so that they're on one line. Toes are going to point in just a tiny little bit. It's going to help with the alignment and getting a different stretch through the hips, making sure those knees are in line with the feet, okay? We're going to start by just reaching out. Reach through the fingers. This is what we call a star pose. So you're going to notice you're using your legs in a different way. Your hips are going to feel different. There's always the option for palms facing up, okay, or down. Just going to stay here for 1 more breath. Lengthen through the spine. See if you can engage through the arms by reaching through the fingertips. And then we'll inhale up. And we'll exhale and hinge forward. So just like all those sun salutations, we exhale and then we relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Maybe the hands are on the mat. Maybe you're grabbing your elbows. Or the forearms are on the thighs for a little bit of support. Now you can slowly come up or take 1 hand to each hip and then try to inhale and squeeze through the glutes and come up. Okay, we're going to turn to the left now. So we're going to adjust our footwork. You might just have a small adjustment. You might need to pick up that foot and bring it or lengthen in whatever way feels good. Remember, just like a bow stance, left leg is straight, right leg has about 45 degrees or a little bit less than that, okay? Knee over the ankle, most important of all. Dropping our tailbone down, making sure we're engaging through our abs. Finding turning from our middle body so that we can either bring the arms overhead or the hands to the heart or the arms behind the back for warrior 1. The goal, in just like Tai Chi, is strong and stable through the legs, flexible through the middle body and feeling that lightness through the arms. So remember, if the arms are up, don't let the shoulders come up. Make sure the shoulders are where they belong. There's nothing that says your palms have to be super close together or hands touching. You could have them up and out really wide. As long as your shoulders are down, that's the most important requirement. Now from here, we go into number 2. So we turn to the side. We make sure our left knee doesn't come with it. The arms float down. We're vertical with our torso. We let our back foot open a smidge more. And then if it feels good, we look to the front. I always suggest looking to the side first because then we can find that vertical a little bit easier. And then turning forward if it feels good. Remember, the option is there for the palms to the sky. So essentially, if you took your right arm and you brought it to the corner, this should feel like an extended single whip in every way. We're looking down the left arm. We're vertical, but we just have a longer stance, and we're reaching that back arm so it's a little bit more open through the chest. Now from here, we're going to reverse it. So we're going to bring that left arm overhead, right hand to your thigh. Keep that palm facing down, lengthen through your side body. And then look up if it feels good. Want to take care of our neck in whatever way we need to. And remember, there's not a lot of weight in that back hand. It's just kind of there for a little bit of support. Okay, we're going to reverse this after this breath. Check in on that front knee. Make sure you're kicking it out to the side. And then come back to number 2. So try to find your balance here. Then we'll close the foot, close the torso, arms overhead. And then we'll release the arms. And we'll see if we can take a step forward and come into our mountain pose. So you can just step to the front of your mat if that felt good for you. But we're going to sink in. Take a couple of breaths first. Reach those fingers down, check. Armpits open. Try to bring your focus down to your feet again. So we want to relax the feet. We want to have soft knees, not too bent, but not locked out. Exhaling, navel to spine, pulling up through the pelvis. Relax the lower back. Try to release the shoulders and lift up a little bit taller. Our next is going to be our tree pose. So another great one for balance. So we're going to start by shifting our weight to the right, just like we would in Tai Chi. See if you can lift that left heel. Make sure that just the toes are touching and you have all of your weight on that one leg. Now you can extend your arms out. You could have them overhead, hands to heart, or in a hugging position, okay? The first thing we want to do is touch with our toes. Touch with the left toes on the mat. Notice how this feels. Do you feel solid? Are you picking that point to stare at and making sure that you breathe as you go to your calf? So you actually have to push with your foot into your leg. Now, if that feels good, you can take your hand and you can grab and then move up to your thigh. But our knees were not meant to get pushed to the side direction, so we do want to avoid that. We take a couple of breaths. We try to settle in. Release the shoulders again. Try to relax the foot if it's possible. It will help with balance once you're able to do that, but it does take time. Last one, ready? Release. Okay. Find your footwork first. You can always grab onto something. There's nothing wrong with that. I say if you grab onto something, touch it very lightly. So like don't like pour your weight onto it, just like have your security blanket right there, okay? So we're gonna shift left and we're gonna pick up till the right toes touch. And we relax the standing leg, so knees soft, waist relaxed. You have to engage through your abs, so your breath might change a little bit throughout this balance section. So choosing the position, arms out to side helps a lot, or touching onto something. Hands, it's kind of like kicking in Tai Chi, right? You can imagine you like push out, okay? Or hands to heart. Then touching to the calf, if that feels good, pushing in, finding your balance here first before you might choose to grab your ankle and then push into your thigh. You'll notice that I can't push as much with this foot that's still healing, and then it's going to slide down. So that pushing into your thigh or your calf is really a part of finding the balance as well. Make sure you still breathe. Any balance exercise is made better with breathing. Last one. And on the exhale, release. Okay. We're going to work on our standing pigeon pose or hip openers next before we get into that quad stretch or dancer's pose. Remember, straps, blocks are our friends. If you don't have a strap, go grab your belt. It's the same thing, okay? You can take it underneath your leg. We'll start with the left leg up, so we would take it behind our knee first. Make sure that we bring the strap together so we can grab it with one hand, and then we could hold on for balance. The big difference from this to Tai Chi is Tai Chi has our foot open to the corner and our leg to straight. Here we're going to have our right foot straight, and when we bring our left leg up, it's also going to be to straight. So you pull up as high as you can. And if you can grab the knee, you could grab with both hands or just one hand holding on the outside or behind the knee. It's really going to depend on what feels good for you. The goal is to actually relax your left foot. So unlike Tai Chi, when we actually point the toes down, we just want to relax the foot so that we focus more on the hips. And something to be really aware of when we do this is, are the hips still level? So we don't want to lean and make the hips at an angle. We want to sink into it still. Ready? Release. Okay. So now we're going to shift left. We're going to relax our foot, soften through that knee. Make sure that we touch with our toes first. Put that strap under your leg if you want it. And then inhale, coming up. One or both hands on the outside or behind the knee. Completely up to you. What feels good? Make sure those shoulders are down. Head lifting up. And are you breathing? And finally, check in on that right foot. Nice and relaxed, not pointing down. We're not engaging the muscles. We're stretching through the hips while we challenge our balance. On the next exhale, we'll release. Okay, we've got one more balance pose. So they call it dancer's pose if you lean into it, but it's also just a great quad stretch when we're doing so many standing poses. So we shift right again, this time strap or hand to your pant leg or ankle. So we would wrap that strap around the ankle. Make sure it's nice and long to start with, grabbing onto something and then pulling up and dropping that knee down. So it's really up to you if you need that strap, or you can just grab the ankle, the pant leg, and make sure that both legs are down like we were standing. Now there's always the option to lean into it a little bit, extending that top arm out, leaning, but it's really not necessary. One more breath. and we'll release. Okay, we're going to shift left this time. We're going to pick up those right heel into the toes, find the balance first, and then grab wherever you're comfortable, maybe holding on, arm overhead, whatever feels good, pushing out to the side. But again, knees together, make sure that leg is pointing down just as if we were standing, leaning into it gets that little bit more stretch. Make sure the shoulder's down. So if your heel is getting close to your hip, you have to make sure that you bend through the elbow. Now this is different than Tai Chi because the elbow's pointing back and we're kind of stretching through the chest too. Last breath, you ready? Release. Okay, we're going to come back into that mountain pose. So we're going to take a couple of breaths here. We're going to settle. We're going to sink in. Relax the feet into the earth. Make sure there's space under the arms. Exhaling, navel to spine, ribs sinking down. Lifting through the pelvis, maybe touching the tongue to the roof of the mouth. So that as we inhale and exhale through the nose, we're connecting that energy pathway through the entire body. From the root all the way up through the front of the body to the bottom of the mouth, connected by the tongue touching the roof, around the top of the head, through the spine, down to the root again, being connected by that lift through the pelvis. We're going to get one more big stretch of the legs. We're going to inhale and bring those arms up. And we're going to exhale and we're going to fold forward. And you can keep your legs straight or bend into the knees. But make sure to let your head hang down for a couple of breaths. Think about bringing your hips up to the sky as your head hangs down, and that's going to help release the lower back. So important through our practice. Taking a moment to really open everything up. And just like the end of those mini sun salutations, we're going to inhale, bring the arms out to the side, come up overhead, nice flat back, and then hands to the heart as you exhale. Close the eyes for a moment. Notice how different your body feels from when we first started through our entire practice until now. How are your shoulders doing? How's the chest and the back? Even the belly? What about the hips and the legs? How are they feeling? And we always take a moment to thank our bodies for the ability to move in any way that we can. Because we may not move like we used to, but we can sure still move. And I thank you for joining me. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying these sessions. If you ever have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. But most importantly, click that like button, subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this, and make sure to share this with your friends and family. We all want to feel our best, and a little bit of focusing on alignment is really going to help heal our bodies. I know that this is yoga designed for Tai Chi, but these standing poses really bring great things to our lives. So I hope you'll share this video with your friends and family, and I hope to see you again soon.